Awesome. Solar Icons family, happy Monday to you, and welcome to our fireside chat. I'm going to move out of the way and bring up our guest speaker, Mr. Kevin Moeller from the Nrgize app over at Rapid Funnel. Today's topic, he's going to talk about our metrics, and metrics are so important. We talk about it for coaching. We talk about it for business. Really, it's important for everything. You can't course correct what you don't know. And so he's going to take a deep dive on the metrics via our team app. Not only for recruiting, which is what I love, but also for sales. And so, Mr. Kevin Moeller, I know you're a little bit under the weather, but I appreciate you sticking it out and coming to us. How's everything going today, buddy?
Man, you got it, brother. I'm excited to be here. Excited to be with the Powur family, and I apologize. I am a little bit under the weather, but I feel pretty good, and I feel even better now that I'm with you guys. So excited to be here and excited to share just a little bit on some of the statistics and metrics that really can give you a bird's eye view of your business in a way that will give you a revelation. It will help you cut to the chase on where somebody needs your assistance. They need your leadership. They need your coaching. And when you coach in the right place, in the right way, with the right people, you can't help but to grow a bigger business and make a bigger impact and grow your income. That's just the way that it works. And so statistics, if you're anybody like me, statistics are typically not a sexy word. I don't want training on numbers and statistics. Now, I know that there are a handful of people that love numbers. They have like an accountant brain and, they just love hearing data. I'm not that guy. So if you love data, congrats, you're going to love this training. If you can't stand data, then stick with me because you're still going to love today's training. That's my promise to you because it literally makes it so simple. You can't miss it when you know what you're looking for, right? When you know what you're looking for, you'll see literally information that can be revolutionary for your business. And if you think about, like Walt Disney said, that people think in images, right? And numbers paint a picture that you can't paint on your own. When you look at enough data, all of a sudden you start to see things in a way that you couldn't. And that's what I'm going to show you today is how you can see things that you can't if you don't have the right data in front of you. So let me go ahead and share my screen and we'll get right to it. We have a handful of slides. So if you're brand new here, listen, congratulations. You joined the best company in an emerging industry that has tremendous need. That's just ridiculous. I mean, I could go on and on about that, but you already know it, or you wouldn't be with Powur. So congratulations on aligning with incredible leadership and obviously incredible technology to help you build your business. You can get access to the Nrgize app by going to the link at the bottom of these handful of slides. If you haven't already done that, that's part of your homework after today's training is to download that. It's going to give you access to the entire technology stack here with Nrgize, which is super powerful. It's not just data. That's just one of the things that you get with this application. And you can use it to go out there and build your business and turn a profit without ever paying to be a pro subscriber. At some point, you're going to want to be a pro subscriber because it's just going to help you make more money, make more contacts, get more data, use more tools to go out there and to build your business. And one solar deal will pay for it forever for a long time. And you can write that off in your taxes. I'm not a tax expert or a CPA or a tax attorney. That's my disclosure there, or disclaimer, but you can reach out to one and write that off on your taxes potentially. All right. So the difficulties that today's training is addressing is that we're all working hard, or at least we should be, on making exposures, which is sharing information about solar to prospects that are ideal, right? That's what an exposure is informing them about Powur, informing them about solar, looking at their power bill, showing them what they could do and what it would look like, right? That's the exposure process. And we're working hard to do that, but how do we prioritize our follow-up? Because it's easy to follow up with everybody week one because you've only talked to a handful of people. You can't do that 6 months from now, a year from now. You can't follow up every day with every prospect you've ever talked to about Powur. There's not enough time in the day. So how do you prioritize those follow-ups? We need something that has the ability to give us an insight on who to follow up with as far as a priority. And as a leader, we want to spend our time wisely but how do you do that without the right data showing us our highest payoff activities? A lot of times we have people in our organization that think they know where they're missing something in the business. They reach out to us and they say, Aaron, I need help with this. I need help with that. I'm struggling with this. I'm struggling with closing. I'm struggling with fill in the blank, right? Fill in the blank. I'm struggling with prospecting. I'm struggling with what to say. It doesn't matter. Fill in the blank. And oftentimes those individuals that come to us don't really know where they're really missing, right? It's like they think they need one thing, but what they really need is something else. It's like looking at something's symptoms, right? And then addressing the cause without even knowing. I mean, what do you do when your check engine light comes on and you pull into the mechanic? What do? Do they look at the outside of the vehicle and speculate and go, Oh, it doesn't seem to be running right, you said. So I think you're low on oil. No, I think you have a transmission problem. No, they run diagnostics. They get the data and then they tell you what's wrong with your car. So it doesn't matter what your opinion is when you pull into the mechanic. You can tell the mechanic every symptom you've experienced and what you think is wrong with the vehicle. They're going to hook it up to a computer. And if it has a diagnostic code, they're going to tell you what's wrong with your car. What if we could coach like that? What if I could be part of your solar team and I could come to you and I'm just not growing as fast as I want to? And I tell you, I think I know why. And you peek under the hood and you say, hey, let me do a diagnostic test on your entire business. You get all the data and you go, hey, let me show you where you can improve. We're going to help you in this area. It's going to eliminate those challenges. You have the ability to do that with this technology, which is incredible. So it helps you spend your time wisely with the right people at the right time. And then a lot of people spend 2 hours on social media and have no real clue on who they've talked to, who's looked at information and who to follow up with. And that's a challenge in prospecting when you really don't have a clue who your top prospects are from all the activities that you've done on social. And then inspecting what you expect is imperative to success. You've heard that. If you've ever read any business books, a lot of them will tell you that you can't grow and you can't increase margin if you don't increase management. If you don't increase like looking at numbers, you're not going to improve them. Hope is not a strategy. Okay. Hope is not a strategy. If you hope to grow your business, that's great. I appreciate your optimism, but let's look at the data where we need to grow our business. And that's what you can do with the solution, which is this technology amongst all the other tools that you have access to in Powur, which is incredible. So understanding your personal statistics helps you get an honest appraisal of where you can improve. It also helps you identify who's best in class at something specific, right? So James might be really, really, really good at exposures. Like he has a massive amount of exposure numbers in this example. And I might be looking and think, well, my numbers aren't as good as James. Let me talk to him about his prospecting. Or Aaron's might be on engagement. Like, you know, he's doing exposures, but he has a high percentage in engagements. Well, and if I have a lower percentage of engagements, I can go to Aaron and say, hey, man, what are some of your ninja tactics? What are some of the things you're doing to get people to look at information? Because I noticed my numbers aren't as good as yours. It helps you know who to get coaching from. So if you're looking to be coached, look at other people's data that they share with you, and you'll know who can help you in that area of your business. And if you're looking to coach somebody else, look at the statistics from their application and you'll know where to coach them. All right. So you can build your own database here and be a professional networker. And that's what you are in this business. So let's look at some of the metrics really quickly. Let me go ahead and share the screen on my mobile application. Give me 1 second to switch screens. Share screen. Yes. Start broadcast. All right. Hold on. Why is it? Yes. There we go. All right. So here's the Nrgize app. Okay. Here's the application home screen or dashboard whenever you log in. And right off the bat, this screen alone, before we even get into the further statistics, tells us a lot of information. Let me turn my little marker on. Here we go. So right here, this tells me, now this is a demo account, but this shows how many total contacts I've added to the application, which really is a useless number. I mean, all it's telling me is how many people I intended on prospecting. Okay. It doesn't mean I've done anything. It just means I've added them. Okay. But these numbers, your exposures and your engagements, and not only lifetime, which is what you're going to see here, but what I've done this week and what I've done this month. See, this keeps you from having to do a guess game. If I call you and I'm struggling, a lot of times it's that I'm not talking to enough people or I'm not doing it effectively when I do. I'm going to say that again. A lot of times my challenge, if I'm not getting the results that I want and I'm a part of your team, is that I'm not talking to enough prospects or I'm not doing it in an effective way that's efficient, professional, gets people excited about looking at solar. Okay. So these numbers right here, right off the bat, is going to tell you a lot. So how many exposures somebody's done and how many engagements. This will show you if they're on track from a lifetime perspective. But really, this is almost irrelevant when it comes to these two sections of information. This week, I can look at somebody's business, and if they tell me their goal is to make 6 figures in Powur, and I see that they're not talking to enough people, I don't care what they tell me is wrong in their business. I don't care what they tell me is wrong with Powur. I don't care what they tell me is wrong with their leadership, with their community, with their fill in the blank. They're not talking to enough people to reach a 6-figure income, right? So this will give you the insight so you can talk to them about their schedule, talk to them about their prospecting. Are they dragging the same prospects forward? They're never talking to new people. They're just always following up with the same handful of prospects over and over and over. as a leader, this gives you the opportunity to ask intelligent questions because you know where the problem is. They're not talking to enough people. Now let's look at the engagement number. Let's say their exposures this week has been 12 people. Now, depending on what their goal is, depending on what their goal is, that may or may not be enough people to talk to. All right. If they're trying to make $250,000 a year, maybe they need to up their prospecting game. If they're trying to make 50 grand this year, maybe they're on pace. I mean, you tell me. I'm not going to tell you what the number should be. But let's just say somebody's goal is in alignment with 12 exposures a week being appropriate for their goal. Okay. Let's just assume that for a second. But their engagement number says 2. So their exposures are 12 and their engagements are 2. I don't care what they call me and tell me what the problem is. I know that they're talking to enough people, but they are doing a job that could use some improvement. There's an opportunity for improvement on their communication with prospects. They're either saying too much and turning people away. They're either being too salesy and people are running away from them. They're either not following the system and trying to do it their own way. There are only a handful of reasons why their engagement number should be low. If their exposure number is good and their engagement number is low, it's all about their communication with the prospects. So what can I do as a leader? I can say, hey, Doug, hey, Stu, your last 5 prospects you talked to, did you talk to them on the phone, text message, or email? If they did text or email, send me those conversations. Let me read them, right? If they did it on the phone, can you tell me about the conversation? How did you start the conversation? How did you get them on the phone? What did you say when you got on the phone with them? Start asking questions because you already know the problem. The problem is in their engagement number. They're not doing something optimally, right? And we need to increase that number. Now, this is where your statistics panel comes in place. You may or may not realize this is actually clickable. Matter of fact, all these categories are clickable. If you click here, it takes you to your contacts. If you click here, it takes you to your 5 hottest prospects. If you click on tasks, it opens that up. You can click on resources, campaigns, and here's statistics. We're going to open that up. Some of you guys didn't even realize this is actually clickable. So we're going to click on that right now. And here's what's going to show us if you're a pro subscriber. Okay, if you're a pro subscriber, it's going to show you your total engagement percentage. It's going to show you lifetime in the last 30 days. What you should see is an improvement from this column to this column. You know why? Because they should be getting better. You should be getting better. You're worse now than you're ever going to be for the rest of your career in Powur. That should be encouraging news, whether you feel like you're amazing at what you do or you feel like, man, I'm just trying to figure it out. I've got a lot of room for improvement. Cool. We all have room for improvement, and you're going to get better because you're going to have more conversations with prospects. You're going to have more deals under your belt. You're going to have more confidence. You're going to have more conversations with people that in experience. You're going to have coached more people on your team, right? These are experiences you're going to collect that make you better and better and better. So we should see improvement. Your last 30-day statistics should be better than your lifetime average statistics. And if they're not, then I suggest to you that you either have a life event happening, which happens, right? We lost my aunt a week ago. She was relatively healthy. And all of a sudden, she passed away, right? Long story behind that. Things happen that can derail you, all right? So either A, life has happened, or B, you're getting complacent. Maybe your income's too good. Maybe you're just enjoying life a little too much to go out there and stretch for your goals, because you should not decline from your lifetime average to the last 30 days. You should see some improvement there. And then, of course, we can click the down button here on resources opened and look at the analytics on our email opt-in page. All of these are statistics that you can track on this one page. And by the way, if you're building a leadership team, if you're building a team of people who want to be held accountable, these are people who want to grow. They want to stretch, all right? Now, let me be the first to tell you, not everybody on your team is ready for that. And that's okay. You love people with where they're at. If they want to do one solar deal a quarter, cool. Love you. Welcome to the team. But your team that wants to run and rock and win trips and grow their income and grow, they want to grow. Okay, those people are willing to be held accountable. And you as a leader, you should be willing to hold yourself accountable. But check this out, the brag button at the top, you can click on that. And when you do, it basically takes a shareable screenshot that you can click the share button, and you can send that in a text group. You can send that in a Telegram group. You can send it in a Facebook group. You can do whatever you want to share that with an accountability team. So if you're not part of an accountability team, I encourage you to do so. And if you don't have an accountability team or accountability partner, I encourage you to create one. Take some initiative, right? Aaron said it beautifully earlier. Like, you are a partner. This is your business. So you don't have to wait on somebody giving you permission to lead. right? If you see an opportunity and there's someone on your team who wants to be held accountable and they want to grow, hold them accountable. Don't beat them up, but share transparently your numbers and their numbers and check them out. You can do it once a day, once a week, once a month, whatever you want to do. And it's a powerful way to grow your business. So that is a, what I call a deep dive, even though it's not, right? We're not out in the weeds. We're not doing any accounting work on this. This is very simple data that you can use to coach somebody on your team. And I encourage you to ask them to screenshot their statistics and send it to you before you coach them on the phone. If they're not willing to share their numbers, they're not willing to get coached. Let me say that again. If they're not willing to share their prospecting numbers, they are not willing to be coached, even if they say they are. I'm not interested in a conversation about philosophy of success, even though I love personal development and I could talk it all day long. If I'm going to help somebody, if I'm going to take my time as a leader to help them to grow their business, I want to see the data. I want to see the numbers so that I can do the best coaching job possible, help cut to the chase and help them improve where it matters most in their prospecting efforts. So that being said, that is the statistics training that we have for you today. And we have a challenge, as always, to apply this information. So check your numbers. That's your challenge. All right. Check your numbers. How many exposures, how many engagements do you have? And get at least 3 new engagements in the next 24 hours to increase your statistics. And if you're willing to accept that challenge, we want to hear from you in the chat. Let us know that you do accept the challenge and you're taking the initiative. And if you're watching this training on replay, send a message to the person who brought you the amazing opportunity with Powur. Let them know that you accept the challenge. And we look forward to seeing you in the next training, which is going to be how to create your own trackable links and calendar invitations and event registration pages. It's going to be powerful. We're going to talk about how to create those, how to customize those, how to share those. And it's going to be a great, great time. And I look forward to being with you guys next week. So Aaron, my friend, I appreciate you, sir. And I'll turn it over to you.